Alright, so for custom wiring, here's what you're going to need. First, get your battery, and you're going to run, I've got two cables coming off here. The first, this is just for the amp. So I've got a separate fuse for the amp, and then I run it all the way through the firewall up into here, straight off the battery. So that's just for the audio. I've got another one here with a separate fuse that runs for all the neon lights. We got over 100 lights on board. We're going to need our own power supply. So it's important to have fuses in both, so that if it overheats, the fuse pops and doesn't blow up your battery and make all your neighbors mad at you. Each fuse is contained in here, so if something ever doesn't turn on, you can just check and see if the fuse is blown or not. Make sure you get a thick enough cable, the right size for the right power supply that you're going to have. And then up here you've got just a simple terminal connection. Screw it right onto your battery terminal along with your regular connector. So I've got both of these. They run back through the firewall. That's going to be the trickiest part, is getting these wires through that firewall and back to where you want them. That's going to be the most time consuming part. So there are some tools that help you get the cords through in the right areas. Probably don't want to be drilling any holes, but if you're creative enough, you can find a way to get those cables back there. So let's take a look inside and I'll show you where they come through the firewall. Alright, so let's take a look at the control panel for all the lights. This is totally ghetto style, homemade, made it up as I go along, as you will see. So I just want to warn you ahead of time that if you're in the automotive, electrical sort of business, you're probably going to puke in your mouth when I show you what I've done to this car. Alright, so first, this is the, this used to be where the cup holders are. Ripped all that stuff out. Here's what I got now. First, I've got my remote control for my radio. That's pretty important. I also have my USB thumb drive. It was Velcroed on here too. It is zebra and purple to match the car. I'm sure you're impressed with that. I also have this neon light wand that can hold it open. Now, here's where it gets crazy. So I've got all these controls wired up into this giant plastic box. All right, so you can buy an actual project box at Radio Shack that's probably a lot safer. But I've got all these rocker switches, and each rocker switch controls a certain set of lights. Inside this part, I've got a strip, a wire terminal where I have everything wired and crimped, and then I've got one crimp set for the positive and one for the negative. All the wires and cables run into this control box, and I can basically sit here and control everything on the ceiling, everything in the back seat, skull lights, the front lights, the outdoor lights, trunk, everything from this one control unit. So if I had it to do over again, I would make this in a separate box, keep it a lot safer. The negative terminal doesn't go all the way up to your battery. You can find a spot on the transmission wall or any piece of metal in the car, scrape off the paint and bolt it right onto it for the negative connection. Once you do that, run it into the master box and then connect all your lights off it straight up. If you have a something with a cigarette plug, you can make any cigarette plug hardwired. All that you have to do is undo the cigarette portion, and you'll see which part is positive, which part is negative, and then turn those into wire terminals. All you need is a wire crimper and a bag of like 100 terminal connectors. So that's where everything is. I also threw in some extra stuff as I went along. I got this light up Christmas tree thing at the dollar store, so I hooked that in there. These control the trunk neon, so I just kind of put those in there as well. I have a couple other switches too, like this switch does the floor accelerator lights. So I just kind of threw stuff in as I went along, and you know, when you're doing your own car stuff, you kind of have to make it up as you go. So there it is. Anyway, is it the safest? Maybe not. Is it hardcore gangster, like backyard awesome? Yes, it is. All right, so let's take a look at some more stuff. We'll be back later.